Have you ever mistaken a not yet for a no? If you're a parent, mentor, or caregiver, stay with me. In this episode, I'm going to be discussing the difference between rejection and redirection. All of this with the most special guest ever, Grace!
Hi guys!
My daughter, she's back.
Yes, I'm back, guys. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
It have, but we're back.
Yes.
If you're new here, welcome. My name is Flower, and this is Diary of a Parent. We talk about raising kids with intention, presence, and deeper connections. My goal is that we don't settle for conversations that ends with "how was school," but build relationships where kids actually want to invite us into their lives. So let's get started. Today's entry is from my first book, Dope, Diary of a Parent, available in Amazon, and it's called Not Yet Isn't No. It's entry day 165. How it will go, Grace will read it, we'll discuss it, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right.
Follow along if you have the ebook or hard copy.
Thank you. I like that. Before we start, Grace, 2 questions.
Yes.
Anything you want to say to the fan club since you're back?
I mean, I missed you guys. It was good. You know, I said it was.
Why you been up to? Give us a little update over here.
I mean, it's been a while. Did we already talk about like going in person and stuff? I think we did. But we already registered my classes. I just got my parking pass, guys. It's official. 3 weeks post going to school. I mean, summer's been good. We've been preparing. This was our first day actually doing our routines and building our mornings with intention. And, you know, I feel like it's been a good summer.
We're back. Next video, hopefully you can give us an update of how was your first day,
Yeah,
right?
how was my first day, yeah.
All right. New video coming. Okay.
Yeah.
And second question. Based on the title, do you think this one's about you, me, or everyone watching?
I think this is a us thing.
Okay.
I feel like we've talked about this a lot, but also I feel like it can be like to anyone, honestly. I feel like you can hear it and you probably had an experience like it, you know?
Okay. Well, go ahead and read the entry and we'll stop before the questions.
Okay.
Go ahead, girl.
Right, it says day 165. Not yet, is it no? On the drive to volleyball, Grace and I had one of those conversations. I wish I could bottle up forever. She said something that stopped me in my tracks. Some kids are raised on performance, like you have to be good right now or don't even try.
You remember that?
I do. I'm like, I'm getting back to it. That hit me. How many times do kids and adults quit because they can't see long term? One, not yet, feels like a lifetime of rejection. But what if not yet isn't a rejection at all? What if it's an invitation to grow stronger, to come back better, to try again with deeper resilience? That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Grace reminded me of her own story. She spent a year as a practice player. No jersey, no spotlight, just drills and sweat. But that year wasn't wasted. It shaped her. It taught her that rejection is sometimes just redirection. And now, she's on the team, playing the game she loves. We also talked about how easy it is to get caught in the noise, gossip about coaches, and complain about fairness. But her journey is living proof. A coach did see potential, and with time, dedication, and commitment, that potential grew into a real skill. The truth cut through the noise. It's tempting to live for immediate results, but God reminds us that growth is often slow and layered. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may mature and complete, not lacking anything. James chapter 1, verse 4. Sometimes the best yes comes from the fateful season of not yet.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
I remember that moment clear in my mind. Now, before we unpacked, what sentence stopped you? Was there anything in there, a line that you were like, ooh, you say that was good? Which one, what line was it?
There was actually 2.
Okay.
I really liked the truth cut through the noise. That was really good. And I'm trying to find it somewhere in here. This one, right? The what if the invitations to go stronger, to come back better, and to try again with deeper resilience.
Mm-hmm. When you hear not yet, a not yet isn't a no, what do you think? What do you need? What now, after all the experience, I think you have a great answer. But like, what do you think it means?
I don't think it means no now anymore. I don't think it means no anymore. I kind of just see it as to just keep going more than just like, oh, I'm going to stop, you know? I feel like it's just like, not yet. Like, it's going to be there. It's like I've always seen on like the English teachers' posters, like, don't say not yet, say yet. Like, I can't do this yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yet, that's the big word.
Yeah.
And
Because we're learning, we're growing, right? We will eventually get it.
yeah, so I think I see it as more of like learning towards it more and like just growing towards that moment more.
What does not yet means for you? Make sure you leave it on the comments. Did you ever think maybe volleyball wasn't just for you?
Wasn't just for me.
Yeah, like volleyball isn't for me. Like, oh, whatever.
Definitely my freshman year. Oh gosh, I had so many moments of like, is this even like what I want to do? Like, do I even want to play? I remember like telling you like I don't want to go to practice because I felt like I wasn't good enough and like I felt like I wasn't improving. But like my mom always told me like just wait, you know, keep going, keep trying. Basically not yet, like not yet. It's not, she didn't tell me not yet, but like she kind of like worded around that phrase.
Yeah, and there were some hard conversations because I believe as parents we do need to walk our kids towards keep persevering, but we also need to know the line where we should not be pushing them. So it's a really
Thin line.
yeah,
Like
very very thin line. Now, did watching from the bench ever make you want to quit?
No. That's a good question, and I love that she asked me these challenging questions. But yeah, of course it did. I mean, I would like feel so sad sitting on the bench. I'm like, I want to play. And probably if you talk to my teammates at that time, like they would tell my coach or like whoever they're talking to that I wanted to play. Like I would tell, I won't say her name, but you know, she probably knows who she is. I turned around to her and I was like, I just want to play. She was like, I get you. And and that kind of helped me a little bit because she wasn't like making fun of me because sometimes they would make fun of me for just wanting to play. But she would like still like encourage me a little bit. She was like, she laughs about it. She was like, don't worry, like next season, you know?
Who was it?
Marley. Oh, okay. If you remember that. Maybe she does.
Thank
maybe
you for
she
kids
does.
like that. Thank you for kids like that.
Yeah.
Now, but what kept you going?
I think just the love of the sport. I mean, I've always loved volleyball. It's not something that I was forced to do or like something that I just wanted to do to distract me. I truly loved the thrill and the community and just playing volleyball and just, you know, digging the balls because I was a libero. It was just fun for me. And I have this one story because it did really keep me going. This was the one thing that kept me going. My coach, he always told me that I was here for a reason and that no coach, as I said in the entry, that he saw my potential and that he saw what I was capable of and he kept pushing me into becoming a better player and to keep improving. So that in the back of my mind was keeping me going,
Always playing in your mind.
Yeah, I was always playing my mind. And also you get 1% better every single day.
That's kept me. One. It's so real.
That was like my quote the freshman year. My volleyball, the 1% better every single day. Even if you had a bad day, you're still learning, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, how did the conversation at home help you? Was there any moment where you were like, well, okay, I remember my mom, my dad said this. Let me keep going. Was there a moment like that?
All the time. I mean, I would come back, obviously upset sometimes, or I'd be mad, or I'd be happy. And I'll tell my mom all about it, and she will just tell me little things that I can't really remember now, but because it was just a while ago, but I know it was good things. Like, she never told me anything bad. Also, my dad, too. Like, even though he was a little sugarcoaty, you know, he wouldn't tell me, like, if I was really doing bad. He was the one that actually encouraged me and, like, brought me up. You know, I was like...
Yeah, because that's such a good point. Her dad is always the one sugarcoating. Like, even if she sucks, he'll look at her and be like, "You're the best." Mm-hmm. And even though that's great, and kids do need that, we also need a balance. We also need to be able to talk about things that might upset them, but reshape and rephrase them to actually build their character. Because I remember having so many conversations about her about like, this is not only about winning, you are learning, you are persevering, you are a teammate, you are a good kid. So many things that she was learning through the sport are completely worth it. Every single tear that we went through. Because we both cry. Mm-hmm. We pray, and now we're here. We're not even...
Wait.
Okay,
let's not spoil that. Cut that out.
Cut. We'll talk about that in another video. But I think this is way more than just volleyball, especially the 1% better. This applies to jobs, relationships, dating, friendships. anything that you want to start new, I think
Yes.
that 1% better and persevering about it.
Yeah, like you never give up. Like
Yeah.
perseverance.
Yeah.
You always have perseverance.
It's the key to answer so many things in life.
Mhm.
Like, in my personal opinion, right now I'm getting comfortable in camera. I am putting stuff out there that I truly love, that I truly want to talk about. And sometimes I'm sitting here in front of the camera and I'm getting, it's so hard to get the words out of my mouth. And I'm like, Flower, just breathe. You're talking to someone else, it's another human. Let's get better 1% each day.
Yeah.
Same thing with any routines. Stop looking at the big picture. Yes, we have to have a vision of where we're going, but look at the now. That 1%, how can you get better today? Maybe it's it, I'm going to put my phone away. That's 1% already. And then I'm going to add another 1% and another 1% until you see a life that you have been creating bits by bits.
Yeah, that just also applies to you. That's just being consistent. Also, a lot of people see the big picture immediately. They feel like, oh, how can I get there? It's so far away. But like as my mom said, just one thing at a time and 1% better, you'll get there sooner or later. Trust.
Now, where do you think people quit too early, Grace? In life?
When it gets too hard, I feel
Like-
like a lot of people quit.
But like where? What
Where?
areas of life do you think people quit too early?
Like where do they quit?
I would say for
Like-
parenting, I think parents quit way too early as soon as your kid shuts down the first time. When you try to ask a question and they're like, I don't want to talk, or fine, you immediately get upset or you immediately get sad, you turn around and you leave and you never try again until 3 months or never actually. I think you're definitely quitting too early right there. Because especially about parenting, it's a daily, constant, I don't want to say job, but it's a journey that you have to continuously walk and try and fail and try it again. So,
Okay.
where do you think people get quit too early?
I would say for volleyball, for like since we're in the topic of sports, I just feel like, dare I say, when your coach is mean to you or like you have like friends that are like
Yes.
that are not really people that you want to be around, but you know that you still want to do it. Like if you want to be a parent, you want to be a parent and you want to continue to grow just like for any other sport. That's a little controversial because people be saying just quit when the coach is hard, right? There's a difference though. There's a line.
That
Don't
line.
stay if he's abusive or he or she's abusive. Don't
No.
do that. But if they're just pushing you and they're like trying to make you better,
And how do you know they're actually trying to make you better?
well, first of all, I think they just give you honest feedback. They give you honest feedback.
It's
remember-
respectful.
Yeah, it's respectful feedback too. I just also think that they just push you. Like, I don't necessarily have to explain it to you in sports, but like when your coaches are like constantly making you work out, constantly doing the same drills over and over, but you know the results are good, like you keep winning games, right? Because if you're
Or you keep
consistency.
losing, but you're getting better.
Yeah, basically. But they don't like abuse you and like saying like, oh, you can't do this. They'll be like, come on, you can do this. Like, I know you can.
Yeah. Also, I think a good point, don't assume you're failing because you're not winning games or you're not seeing results right there. I think we have to recenter our attention into what are we doing each day and actually be able to track progress based on that.
Yeah, that was a little hard for me in my sophomore season because we had like half and half. Like we kept, sometimes we won, sometimes we didn't. Sometimes we lost games that we shouldn't have. So it was really hard for me to like see results even when we were losing, you know, constantly.
Yeah. Now that takes me to the noise part that I wrote about it. You know, we were like, it's so easy to get caught in noise. If you had listened to all those voices, would you be here now?
No, definitely not. And it's not only just like your negative voices in your head, like saying you can't do it. It's the people around you saying you can't do it, the people who talk behind your back. I mean, even like,
They give you nasty comment.
yeah, or like even gossip and drama around the team or something that just doesn't really fill your soul. Like obviously it makes me feel down and I bet it makes other people feel down, but they just kind of brush it to the side.
They're like, no, I'm good. But then they go in the silence and they're like, wow, is it really me?
Yeah. So
It's that quiet voice that won't let us. Now, and if you're really paying attention, all the things she said applies to everything in life, at work, relationships, dating. We are not so different as we like to think, and that's a gift. That's a gift because
Yeah.
we can relate to each other and we can
Yeah.
learn from each other. We can try better.
Yeah.
Now, how do you know which voices deserve your attention, Grace? In
Deserve
this
my
point
attention.
and now that you're moving forward.
I feel like this is a little bit weird, but I feel like there's a difference in the tone in my mind, how it is. When it's like something that like it's actually like not good for me, it will be more louder. It will be more like stern and like I guess like on the dot. But when it's more something that I'm like I need to focus on and something that helps me grow, it's more quiet and it's more relaxing, you know? So
That sounds like she's building her discernment, which is something that we have been working on through our faith and as a family. I do want to say the way that I know which voices to pay attention to, and again applies to everything in life, will be number one, you look at the person's life. This is a little harsh for some people because I truly believe every single human being can give you wisdom if you're able to listen and to put your ego aside. We all have wisdom to share. But if this is somebody that you look at their life and you're like, I really don't think I would like your life or I
yeah.
would like to be in your skin, their advice to your changes and what you want to go through might not be relevant. You know what I mean?
No, I've seen that so many times. Like, why would you take advice for someone that you wouldn't even switch lives with?
Yeah, that's an easy one. Now, you also have to see how it lands on you because sometimes we get convicted. Someone tells us something, we're like, oh, what was that? Because maybe they're actually touching on a wound you need to pay attention to. Or sometimes they're just being harsh. So, my advice, and this works because I believe in God and I have worked and I have been learning and understanding, and I will continue to learn again for the rest of my life. But I take the advice, I'm like, okay, thank you. Then I go into my quiet time and I pray and I listen and I ask, hey, is this something you want me to try? And then it's this quiet inner voice, again, discernment, right?
Yeah.
That will tell you, yes, move forward, or pause. It's a lot of you taking it with God in quiet time and moving forward.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I feel like that's really good. I personally want to work on it more, like listening to God's voice and to listen to not any noise ahead of me. But I have been building that discernment, and I feel like it's a really good way to know the difference between like very stern and very calm.
Mm-hmm. I also can't say this enough. Talk to your partner, talk to your husband, your wife, talk to your parents.
Yeah.
If you have parents that are not available or willing to listen, find a mentor, find a teacher, pray for someone safe to come to your life, but talk about it. Shoot, get a therapist.
Yeah, I was about to
a
say
counselor.
that. Someone that you trust, like really trust. And even I know therapists are a little harder for you to talk to and stuff. And even sometimes I used to think this when I was younger, but I thought that like when you had a therapist, it means that you're like really like depressed or like you're just like something's wrong with you. But like everyone has a therapist just to someone to talk to, you know, if they don't really have someone, you know?
We must know the difference between therapists and counselors. I am a big fan of both. Big fan. Also, there are companies out there, Big Brothers, Big Sisters is a big one. They have mentors for little girl, little boys. You can just talk. Again, use Google, look it up. You will find something. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, obviously, there's so many resources out there now. We're not living in the 1800s where we have to talk to a wall. We have so many resources, so many people we can go to. Around your area, you know, where you live, there's probably a group or someone out there who's just experiencing the same thing as you.
Yeah. Before we move into the second part of the video and last part, hydration break. Hydration break. Why, Grace? Why do I always say hydration break after a conversation that is making you feel a little uncomfortable, a little sad, or a little too happy too? What do you think? Why do I always say that?
It's just to like reset.
Because I need to find the study again, but I did read it. I read a study that said after you have conversations like these, drink, hydrate, and then go for a walk. It will help your nervous system recenter and take the information. So if you know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments. Now is also a good time. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications,
share
to someone
comment what you think.
that might need a reminder, as not yet means not yet. It just doesn't mean no.
Not yet isn't no.
Now, next question. If someone watching today feels like they are in their practice player season, what would you tell them?
Let me think. I got him. Because sometimes I have to pause. You got to pause before you answer the question. I would first tell them to keep going. Right now, I know this is like a little bit of a niche type of comment.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. But it's so true. It's popular for a reason. A lot of people say it for a reason. But truly, like, if you truly love this sport and you truly got the opportunity to get this.
And this is not only about sport.
Yeah, but like anything.
You can
really
be a practice player in any area of your life. So think about the broad idea, not just the sport.
That's so true. I would tell them to keep going. And if they truly love what they do, keep going. And if they got the opportunity and they want to grow more, I would say to keep going, because that's how you're going to grow. And obviously what we said a few minutes ago of the 1% better, like focus on little things, don't focus on the big thing just yet. You are growing to the big vision that you have, but little things every single day will help you grow more and more. And there's going to be days that are really hard. It's not going to be all easy. It's not going to be all rainbows and bubbles, but it's going to be hard sometimes. And that's where we really have to push and to really get that growth.
I would say, if this is something that you love, that you're starting to do because you love, I think the first thing is to actually ask yourself if you love this, or if you're doing this because you're seeing everyone doing it. So the first question for you will be, do you actually love this? Does this bring you joy, peace, excitement, fulfillment, expensive energy? Now, if this is math or school, you just gotta keep going. Like, I don't have a good advice.
Yeah.
You just have to show up, ask questions, seek help, try, fail, talk. If this is in life, that would be my advice. Ask yourself if you truly love this. Then lay the vision, see the big picture, but then focus one day at a time. And every time you feel that you can, take a deep breath, pause, try again, and try again. And trust, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. You will. The last part I think I wanted to discuss, I have as always my notes in my little iPad. It is that last part about James. He wrote about perseverance. Now, I don't know how far you are in your journey with God, but something that I do notice is that God talks a lot about perseverance. A lot. Why do you think God talks so much about it?
Because I feel like it's one of the most important things to have in your life. I feel like perseverance is like, you think of perseverance as something really big, like, oh my gosh, I can't give up on this big thing. But even like little things, like I've noticed that me working out like every single day, that's technically perseverance, because sometimes I just want to give up and lay in my bed,
And sometimes it's okay.
And sometimes that is good.
Rest is important.
Yes. But sometimes your mind is just like, I don't want to do it. And, that's just your mind, but that's just getting up and knowing what it will do for you and knowing how you will feel. And that applies to anything,
Yeah, I agree. So I think this perseverance is so important in parenting, because we might start something and then we don't get the results immediately that we want, and we start comparing, which is a huge no, please, a huge no. We start shaming, we start blaming, instead of letting perseverance finish the work. How does that look like? Instead of, oh, you see, so-and-so is doing better than you, which I'm guilty. I think I have said, no, like that.
But like I don't really remember either, but you have said something.
But something along the lines.
Yeah.
And I caught myself in the moment. And that's what also perseverance looks like. You promise yourself something as a parent that you won't do. You messed up, but you repair. You take it, you learn, and you repair. You talk to your kid, and you're like, hey, I didn't mean to say that. Literally, because you didn't, okay? And then you try it again. And it will build such a beautiful relationship and connection with your kid. But what I was saying is, instead of comparing them, you try it again. You have another conversation. You're like, hey, remember how we spoke about this? So what's making it harder? How can I help you? Perseverance will finish the work. Anything to add right there?
I mean, yeah, I feel like my mom has always talked to me like that and like, hey, like we should talk about this again. And even if I don't want to talk about it, because as a teen, and maybe I'm speaking to other teens out there, maybe you don't want to talk about that specific thing. And sometimes I just tell my mom, I'm not ready, just, I'm not ready.
And don't feel shut down when they say that. Literally, I will write it down and I will come back in a week or 2 weeks or when we're driving, when there's nothing important going on. And it will bring it up as a casual conversation because that's what it is. We're not having deep dive. Sometimes we are actually.
Yeah,
That's a lie.
sometimes we are, but sometimes it's just something casual
We
that
talk.
we haven't. Yeah.
We share to each other as what are we thinking, what are concerns. That's life. We're having a conversation.
And if you're just starting, right? If you're just starting, like growing with your child, like it doesn't need to be like how we are right now, like talking to a
We
camera.
didn't get like this overnight.
Yeah, it was like years.
It was perseverance.
It was years of my mom and my dad putting in the effort. So if your child is just small talk at the beginning, don't worry.
It's a good sign. At least they're talking.
At least they're talking. At least they're wanting to talk to you just for a little bit, and appreciate it and keep growing from that.
Yeah, we'll learn as parents to ask better questions because it is our job. We are the adults. Please stop blaming kids. It's our job. Now, to wrap it up, we're going to do one question for parents and one for teens. As always, I include 3 for each of us, so you can sit down around your table and ask this with your family. If there's silence, let it be. That's okay.
I did that.
Yeah. Now, pick one for parents and I'll pick one for teens later.
Okay, we're going to do question number 2. Do I sometimes expect performance too quickly instead of valuing the process?
I mean, as I was writing this was my real diary. So I was understanding these things in real life and I was asking myself these questions. At the moment, absolutely. I wanted to see results right then, next day, or same day delivery, to be honest. Yeah, that prime delivery. That's such a dad joke. I'm sorry. But now time has passed. I have been persistent. Is that the word? I'm trying to, like, my English sometimes fail. Okay, let's be honest.
I don't know if there's a word.
But I truly enjoy, not only value, I truly enjoy the process of starting something new, of going after something. Because I think one of the things that changed that for me is that I started like logging the progress. I was like, on these days, so now I react like this. And I was able to see on paper the results. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. You got to raise your hand like you do in school, but I feel like I've definitely seen that more, like how you improved more on that. And like sometimes we would do like voice notes on, like, I remember, I think I should go on my phone and see what voice notes I have, because I know I have things from when I was just starting volleyball, and like my mom would ask me, or sometimes we record our man meetings, which are our daily, monthly meetings.
No,
not daily.
monthly accountability meetings.
Monthly
man meetings.
Yes.
Let me know if you want me to talk about that. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. But we probably have conversations on that, and we look back on our progress, and that just, it values the process more than anything.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now I'll pick one for teens. Mm-hmm. And some of these questions, at the time, I was talking to my therapist. I love him. Highly recommend.
Shout out my therapist.
Mr. Williams, if you're watching. Thank you. So a lot of the questions, they were asked. I came out with him. So I will ask him like, oh, what do you think about this in my teenager? And he would like, maybe this will work. So I do give him credits on the book. I don't think he knows I give him credit, but anyways,
it's there.
Questions for teens. I'm going to go for 2 since you picked 2. It says, what does my own practice player season look like right now, and how could it prepare me for later?
That's so good.
Especially right now.
You know what? I think this is a good time to say, you know. So, I don't know if we told this last
No,
video.
we're not going to say that.
We're not going to say it?
Not on this video. It's already so long. We talk so much when we're together. So.
Okay, wait. I do have one, though. Wait, but like it is about my in-person.
Okay, so just briefly say it. Don't give the whole story. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My practice player season looks right now is going into a new school, a new journey. But I'm doing more advanced classes and it's gonna be more load on me. So sometimes I feel like I'm a little beginner. I'm a little practice player that I'm like, I feel like everyone's smarter than me, or like everyone is like better and they got here better than me. But I know that me doing this right now, and I'll still learn and I'll still prepare, and it'll prepare me later for in the future. So
Yeah, I think it's preparing you to be the person you want to be, the woman you want to become as she becomes an independent adult. So I think it's gonna be a beautiful journey, and we will definitely talk about this later. I think today's biggest reminder is that not yet sometimes is preparation, redirection, maybe it's a pause so you can ask yourself if this is really what you want, to try it again, to get stronger in some areas of your life. And my invitation for you today is, what is that something that you're doing with your kids that you think is a no, but it's actually a not yet? What about in your marriage? What about in your at your job? In your own relationship with yourself, with God? What do you think is the reminder for today?
I think we talked a lot about perseverance. So I know it's like to never give up, right? But I think perseverance is one of the most important things you can have and you can build. And perseverance isn't big, but it's also small. It's in everyday life.
Now, for me, as I mentioned, everything started with God. I truly believe God created us to enjoy and live. And I do think perseverance is part of living life. It's one of those keys that unlocks the next level. Maybe God is preparing you for that something that you've been asking. So do your part slowly and trusting. And I can only wish you the best. So if this conversation helped you, make sure you send it to someone that is in their not yet season. Sometimes a small reminder can save someone from quitting. Will help them keep going. Will help them try again. And if you're a parent who's trying to build a more calmer, more intentional home, also don't forget to download the free Calm Starter Pack available on the link below, because everything starts with a more calm, more intentional parent. Thank you, and see you again in the next video.
Bye.
Look at the camera. Okay. I'm like, they're parent. If you're
No, it's
I'm gonna keep that.